All right, today we're doing poor man's brisket, which is essentially it's a pot roast. But we're gonna cook it the way we do a brisket because brisket is 60 bucks for a choice brisket. I'm not gonna do that. I missed the sale back on what was it? I guess 4th of July. And then we got beef cheek meat, which is barbacoa. All right, and that's not barbacoa. I never call that barbacoa. Even no matter how you cook it, even if you put Mexican spices in it, put it in a slow cooker, it's not barbacoa. This is what you're gonna make barbacoa with. But I gotta prep that still. This one's ready to go. It's been sitting out for about 30 minutes. Got salt and pepper on it, ready to go. Going in the big smoker. She's old, but she's still good. Gonna get her done. All right, keeping temp is always a big challenge on a big, and this isn't even that big, but it's big for the meat I have on there. And then I haven't used it in a while, and then I have to remind myself how much fuel it takes. So it was running less than 200 earlier. I put about 3/4 of a chimney of charcoal in there, and then a big log, and it was barely getting to 200 here. It was, this is about it what it was earlier. I just opened it, but yeah. Then I finally got some more charcoal in there. I didn't have but some leftover seasoned charcoal, some flavored charcoal, which I was never gonna use. So I used it just to get fuel in there. And I went and bought some more. So, yeah, and of course when I put the flavored charcoal in there, it caught, and it was going good up at around 225 for a while. So this is the result right now, which looks good. You can see our internal temperature is 151 and 156 on the meat. So we want to be at about 165 before I wrap the roast or the poor man's brisket, and before I put the beef cheeks in a pan with some I'm gonna do beer and finish it off until it gets to 205. But we're gonna be here late, but it's already 8 o'clock, of course. All right, beef cheeks are done smoking. They're hit 165. I'm doing something I don't like to do, which, because it's almost 9 o'clock, I'm taking them off and I'm gonna finish them up in the oven. So I'm pour some beer. Unfortunately, this is the only beer I have. So I'm gonna put some in there, put some other stuff in there, and then put them in the oven, which would be the same thing on the pit. I would rather do it on the pit, but you're just adding heat and you're cooking them longer. The smoke is done, so it's just really heat. So we're gonna accomplish the same thing on the oven, although I don't like to do it. Again, some beer, probably some onion, some garlic, cover it, put it in the oven until it hits about 210 or so, and they should be tender. Right now it is not tender, although it does taste good. I pulled some of these pieces off, but it's not tender at all. All right, here it is with the beer. I put some beef stock in there, put some onion and some fresh garlic, and then I had some leftover, we had menudo. So some chopped up jalapenos and onion and some cilantro. I just dumped it in there. It's gonna be all good. So that's what's in there. It's going in the oven, and I'm putting it at 350 until it hits the proper internal temperature. All right, so the poor man's brisket just hit temp also. So now it's joining the beef cheeks in the oven, unfortunately. But we gotta get this thing done. And we're just putting them to heat to about 200. So I'm gonna put my probes in there, my thermometer in here to monitor the temp. And we'll do the same on one of the, oh man, that smells good. Do the same on one of these. Monitor the temp. Put them in there until they hit about 210 or so. All right, just unwrapped the poor man's brisket. Its juices are flowing. We are good. Let's cut into it. All right, so this is definitely not as tender as a brisket, and maybe I should have left it on a little bit longer. But man, there is some juice to it. and it tastes really good. Man. But yeah, could be a little more tender, but I imagine that has to do with the fat too within it. Not so much in the pot roast or in the chuck roast as there is in a brisket. All right, let's see how these came out. They could be a little bit, again, more tender, but they are falling apart. There's some of the connective tissue in there. So, but so we can deal with it. Oh man, this barbacoa is good. It's gonna be good in the morning with some corn tortillas. Yes, sir.